My name is Valerie Killian, and this is Adrian Say, and we're both solution architects for SaaS platforms here at Stripe. And anyone selling software knows that AI is forcing a tough question. How resilient is my business model? The platforms that thrive aren't selling just software. They're the financial backbone for their users' businesses, the place where money flows in, gets managed, and flows out. Today, over 16,000 SaaS platforms run on Stripe. And the category leaders like Shopify and Mindbody have turned financial services into more than just features. They're a growth engine. They monetize processing fees, customer balances, card spend, and capital referrals. And every financial service that they offer makes their platform even stickier. In the next 10 minutes, we'll show you how to build that kind of platform using Stripe to become the complete financial operating system for your users. We'll cover how Stripe helps you 1, build and iterate faster, 2, monetize more growth opportunities effectively, and 3, scale confidently with industry-leading risk management. We're going to bring this to life with a fictional platform named Zenflow, which is for yoga studios to run their day-to-day business. Now let's start with one of the biggest barriers to offering financial services, engineering time. You want to offer your users payments, financing, and financial accounts, but building all of that from scratch would take your team months. You need them focused on your core product, not complex financial infrastructure. And that's why Zenflow uses embedded components. We now have over 40 pre-built user experiences that you can customize to your brand and drop within your code. This includes things like onboarding, capital, payouts, and as you can see, the list just keeps growing. Now, you might be thinking, can't I just vibe code these experiences? And you could. Stripe's docs are optimized for LLMs, and we work with AI coding tools like Vercel or Replit. But here's the thing, AI-generated code still needs to be maintained. So when compliance rules in Europe change or a new payment method is added, you'd still have to go in and update your code. With embedded components, Stripe handles that for you. We keep them compliant, up to date, and optimized for conversion, based on learnings from millions of businesses on the Stripe network. This means that you can ship it once and it just keeps working. Let us show you a couple of new embedded components and how Zenflow can benefit. First, yoga studios increasingly want to take payments in person at the front desk. But managing the terminal hardware ordering process sometimes be a headache. Zenflow can now allow their studios to purchase and track device delivery directly within the Stripe dashboard. The Zenflow dashboard. Stripe will handle the ordering, warehousing, delivery, and monitoring of those devices, and all Zenflow needs to do is to embed the terminal hardware ordering component. The next component helps businesses with cash flow. Studios will have seasonal dips, unexpected expenses, and equipment that breaks. Zenflow already knows this, which is why they offer capital through the capital embedded component. But a lump sum isn't always what they need. Now, studios can access a line of credit, which means they can draw capital exactly when they need and only pay fees when they withdraw. This all works with the existing capital component, which means that Zenflow did not have to change their integration. Now, as Zenflow is introducing these new products, they need to make sure that their studios can continue to reconcile. We've launched new reported embedded components that contain 2 core reports that allow your users to track full transaction history and make sure that they can confirm the expected revenue with the payout that they receive in their external bank account. Zenflow no longer has to pull these manually, massage the data, and service them to their studios. Now here's the big one. We hear this from platforms all the time. We know we're leaving money on the table, but launching financial accounts will take months. Not anymore. We're launching components that help you offer financial accounts, expense cards, and bill pay, and you can configure all of that within the Stripe dashboard in a matter of minutes. Let us show you how low lift this really is. We're going to launch a full treasury program for Zenflow right now. Click Get Started, and here you can see that Stripe has pre-configured recommended settings, such as financial features, specific fees, cash rewards, and lets them think about how to manage risk and compliant user communications. Based on these settings, Stripe will generate the component code, which Zenflow can then drop into their application. And their users will then get a fully white labeled branded dashboard. So what does a yoga studio see? They see everything in one place within Zenflow. They can store funds in multiple currencies, issue expense cards, and pay bills. And here's the best part. Zenflow basically earns money every time their users store with them. So the more that their users store, the more they earn with Stripe. And that's how we're helping you build faster. A growing library of 40 plus embedded components, more flexible capital programs, and a turnkey treasury program that you can launch in minutes. Launching financial products, though, is just the start. The real question is, how do you maximize revenue from them? Well, the first is pricing flexibility. If you're moving up market, enterprise users don't want to pay a blended rate. They want to see exactly what they're paying, the network costs versus your platform fee. Zenflow can now offer interchange plus pricing, so they can win larger studio chains who want to optimize their own margins. Now, what about studios who want to simplify their accounting process? Zenflow can enable gross settlement, where studios will receive the full payment amount up front, and then they'll pay the processing fees later at the end of the month. Both of these pricing models are actually available in our platform pricing tools. So Zenflow can adjust by payment method, customer segment, or country without writing any code. But here's the question. How do you know when to reprice? Or how does your take rate compare to others in the industry? This is a blind spot for most platforms, as you usually only have access to your own data. This is why we built Growth Studio. It's an AI-powered workspace that helps you understand, plan, and execute on your highest ROI growth opportunities. Let me show you how it works. We can go to the Recommendations tab in the dashboard, and here, Stripe is letting Zenflow know that their ACH pricing is below market. Growth Studio now is not going to just tell them what to fix, it's going to tell them why. Because we see pricing data from platforms across the industry, we know exactly how your take rate compares to anonymized instances on Stripe. And this is only something Stripe can do. Now, repricing is just one lever, multi-product expansion is another. And Stripe has identified potential revenue uplift and adoption if they were to offer buy now, pay laters for their studios. Zenflow's growth marketer can actually drive adoption by setting up a campaign. The marketer can choose to set up and target all eligible accounts and then set a promotional rate so they can actually drive that adoption. For this campaign and any campaign that Zenflow sets up, we can actually let them know about the adoption rate, the payment volume, and margin, all in one place. So that's how we're helping platforms monetize smarter. Flexible pricing models based on any customer segment, and AI-powered guidance to maximize your revenue with data only Stripe can provide. Now, none of this matters if fraud eats into your margins and your bottom line. And to scale financial services, you need to protect that. You can offload risk entirely to Stripe with Managed Risk, which is now available all through the API. This means that Zenflow can actually have full control over the customer experience, whether it's authentication flows, email communications, everything and anything customer facing. Stripe will handle all the risk decisions behind the scenes, including covering losses for merchant and transaction fraud. And how much risk are we talking about? Well, Stripe has covered over $400 million in fraud losses for platforms like HubSpot and FreshBooks over the past 6 years. Now, some platforms really want to stay close to risk decisions, and that's where Radar for Platforms comes in. Radar now gives you account fraud scores from 0 to 100, clear explanations as to why, and allow you to take direct action, like reject accounts or set risk reserves, which allows you to limit your exposure. This gives you the ability to protect your platform from fraudulent actors and get the intelligence of the Stripe network while staying in complete control of the risk decisioning process. Now, we started this talk with a question. How do you build a resilient platform when AI is changing everything? And the answer is to become indispensable by being the financial home for your users. Stripe can help you get there by building faster using a growing library of embedded components and turnkey treasury, monetizing smarter with AI-powered guidance, and scaled confidently with industry-leading risk management. Thank you, and if you guys have any other questions, you can check us out at the Embedded Payments and Finance booth.